Hey, this is Mark from Mobile Diesel, and I thought I'd kind of get everybody up to speed on where I'm at and what's going on. So, this truck, as mentioned earlier, was a trifecta combination build between Ford, International, and Cummins. And it was mainly done to provide an economical option. And down there is the air brake compressor. You're just gonna have to trust me. I don't have my flashlight. Oh, I do have my flashlight with me. Right there. I removed the air brake governor. If you see where that red flat face is over there, that's where the air brake governor goes. I, as a diagnostic step, put a new governor on there because it was overcharging. So I had rebuilt the head 6 months ago because it wasn't charging at all and it was completely rusted and seized, and so the reed valves inside the head of that air brake governor was stuck, so it wasn't charging. And this is a problematic application. I've seen this many times over the years. I couldn't figure out what was so much less substantial, less robust on this particular Cummins air governor, or air compressor, that it kept going out. And it turns out that a big percentage of these motors that were installed in this trifecta Ford, International, Cummins team build didn't come with air dryers. I'm sure this box here had something to do with not having the air dryer, because I normally don't see anything like this. I don't know what the logic was, except they were in desert regions, the builds, and they didn't come with air dryers, even though there's a part number listed both on the Ford side and the International side. But that's been what's been causing these cylinder heads to stop operating. And the governor, 6 months later, I pulled that governor out, and what ended up happening was the governor was rotted, and a ton of water came rolling out. So normally when I have a non-air brake operation, these governors, this is what I pulled out. They're so cheap, I use it as a diagnostic step to see if I can get the air system to go back online. If not, then it's probably the compressor. But I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time and charging my customer for diagnostics. It's just much cheaper to put a $50, $60, $70 governor in there, and if it doesn't work, it's just a diagnostic step versus my $200 an hour labor rate. So anyways, put it in, started working, but I knew something was wrong because we had a waterfall of juice come out of there, just break condensation water. And so that's when I found out that this didn't come with an air dryer, and I'm installing an air dryer. So anyways, I'm going to take this new working governor. This is the old one that I pulled out that was rotted with rust inside and stopped working. And bring it down here next to the air dryer, which I've just installed now, and I just kind of want to explain how it works. So this thing here, they call it a regeneration valve. They really should call it a toilet tank, but all it does is it takes compressed air from the system and just stores it there, sort of like water in a toilet tank, and it receives a signal to dump, similar to a toilet tank, and it dumps down here, and the water collects down there, and it dumps it out, and it takes the signal from what's called the unloader valve. The unloader valve is the middle section of the air governor. So these are mounting holes here and here, but this is the unloader valve. This is the tank port. It receives pressure, and when it has the desired pressure, anywhere from 120 to 130 psi, it sends a signal to the unloader valve to unload. But it's not meant to unload the toilet tank. What's meant to unload is the reeds on the air governor head. But with that logic that was first developed in the 70s, maybe even the 60s, the air dryers start coming online, and I realized, oh, we could take that same signal and have it come to the regeneration valve, which is what I'm going to call the toilet tank. So now this guy plumbs into the red flat part of the air compressor head, the flat red part, and this is all normally all plugged up, as you can see, But now we're going to plumb in a second line right here, and this is going to go over to this side here. There's a port over there, and that sends a signal to there saying it's time to clear the water out. So every time this cylinder head on the air governor, on the air compressor, receives a signal to stop compressing and take a breather, it also does a clearing of the water accumulation, and that's how it keeps the system nice and dry. Right, and so now this line feeds in from the air compressor, and it feeds back to the tank, and then the tank sends a signal to this guy here saying, hey, we're at 120 psi. Let's take the head from the air compressor offline and let's clear the air dryer. And it does both. And there it is. Now I'm going to continue.